I'm Mike Litton. There are some things that you can do to prepare your home for sale that won't break the bank. And we're going to go over a couple of them today, if that's okay. Number one, I would paint. You can paint yourself. Paint can be a little bit expensive, but you want to make sure you buy plenty of it. You want to make sure you prime first. Make sure you use neutral colors. It's something you can do to both the interior and the exterior of your home. A lot of times you can do it yourself if you're handy. And sometimes even if you're not that handy, you can do it yourself to save some money. So that's one thing. The next thing is declutter. What I would suggest is take about half, if not a little over half of the things that you have, rent a storage unit and move your things into there. There's a reason for it. We tend to accumulate stuff. And if you have kids, you understand. We raised two of them. They're now 23 and 24. And our children, with children comes stuff, right? And we as Americans, at least me in particular, I think I'm kind of a pack rat, to be honest with you. But a lot of my clients are too. I would be aware of the fact that there's probably too much in your house. So take all the personal items, all the knickknacks, all the keepsakes, all that kind of thing, heirlooms, that kind of thing, all those things that are personal to you, take all those and box them up and take them out. You don't want people remembering your art. You don't want people remembering your pictures, your photos, that kind of thing. You want people remembering the house. So that's incredibly important. So decluttering is a big deal. Remember, for every surface, you're looking for between 0 and 3 items on every flat surface. And those 0 to 3 items need to be things that are decorative, that are not that personal. They can be something that adds quality or adds beauty, but they really need to be something that's not like a sentimental type thing where it's obvious to the visitor what it is. 0, if you don't have anything like that, just go with the 0. But it's anywhere from 0, the rule is anywhere from 0 to 3. Next is, look at your curb appeal. Look at the outside of your home as you can see it from the street, and see what sort of appeal it has. You know, do you need to trim the trees? Do you need to trim the lawn? Do you need to fertilize the lawn? Do you need to water the lawn? A lot of these things are things, you know, weeding, pulling weeds, that kind of thing. A lot of these things are things you can do yourself. It takes a little bit of time, and it might be a little rough on your back, that kind of thing. You might be sore afterwards, but it's something you can do that won't break the bank in terms of saving money. Now, you can hire a landscaper, you can hire a painter, you can hire somebody to come in. I'll be happy to visit with you, walk your property with you with your permission, and literally we can label what things we feel like you need to pack away and put in a storage unit. You want to make sure that your property is what we call ready for prime time. The way that you do that is you get rid of a lot of your extra stuff, okay? Curb appeal is another big deal. Trim the trees back. You need to be able to see the house. It's very, very important that when a prospective buyer pulls up, you want them to get out of the car and be eager to come in and take a look at the house. So curb appeal is a big deal. Next thing is your lights. Replace your lights. Replace your regular lights with LED lights. I know that it sounds it's almost repetitive in nature, right? It's almost like we're beating a dead horse. But here's the thing. You want to turn every light on in your house when you show it. So when you go to show your house, turn every single light on, because you want light where there isn't light. You don't want them walking in and thinking that you live in a dark space. You might very well not ever turn a light on at all, except when you're in the dark and that kind of thing, and that's fine. But when you're showing your house, you want every single light on, and you want those lights to be bright. So I would switch out what you currently have in terms of a lower voltage, lower wattage bulb that's a little less bright, maybe more of a yellow color to it, and I would switch it out to something that has more of a brightness to it, like an LED type light in every single room and every single socket, that kind of thing. So the next thing is add music. Music, you've heard that music soothes the savage beast. It really does. So when people come to look at your house, remember this: they're going to be stressed. They're sometimes going to be hurrying over there to try to get there on time from work. They took some time off from work to go take a look. They might be there under duress. Like they may have a spouse who really, really wants to see this house, and they don't really care to see it, but they're doing it out of politeness. They might very well be trying to keep their agent happy. So when they get there, they might be stressed. They might have all the things going on in their lives that you and I have going on in our lives that add stress and make us tense, right? If you have some music that's soothing, you have some music that adds some ambiance, it adds some elegance, it changes the mood. I don't know if you've noticed this, you probably have, but when little kids are upset, if you introduce music, they oftentimes calm down. And if it has a beat to it, they start wiggling their little bodies, okay? It's literally, music has that effect. So I would pick something that's elegant. I would pick something that's soothing, like maybe a soothing jazz type music, something that adds some ambiance to the showing of your house, okay? The next thing is I would look at freshening the air. And what I mean by that is some people, some realtors even, will bake cookies before a prospect comes over. They'll light candles. They'll do any number of things. What I would do is look at how you can add an added scent. See if you can add something that is pleasant to the olfactory system, right? To the smell of your place, so that when they walk in, that's another sense. It's another one of their senses, including the auditory sense with the music and the visual with the lights. It's another sense, another thing that soothes for them. It's another thing that eases them into the idea of living where your home is, that type of thing. Hopefully that helps you. Next is think outside the box. And here's what I mean by that. Everybody has their own idea of how to appeal to a particular buyer. In fact, if you think about it, if you go back and talk to your spouse or go back and talk to the people that went shopping with you when you bought your house, what were the things that occurred to you? What were the things that were important to you? Was it music? Was it light? Was it location? What was it? What were the things that appealed to you? So it could be one of those things where if you're in the city of San Marcos, there's a number of things. There's Lake San Marcos. There's a number of lookouts. There's a number of hiking trails. There's a number of things, places you can go, parks, that kind of thing, that make San Marcos appealing. Restaurant Row is another thing that makes it appealing. So different things that appeal. Maybe a book on San Marcos, maybe a coffee table book on City of San Marcos, maybe something from maybe a book from the Chamber of Commerce, something along those lines, to where you add to the appeal of living in San Marcos and living in your house in particular if it's located there. That type of thing. Something in North County, that type of deal. But think outside the box. Think about what was most important to you and then go with that. Because chances are, if it was important to you, it'll be important to prospective buyers. So hopefully this helps you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. That's my number. Also, you can text me, you can call me directly. You can certainly visit me if you'd like to meet by Zoom. You can certainly visit calendly.com/REO760. And I'll be more than happy to have a free consultation with you over Zoom. We can answer any questions you have about this, answer any questions you have about real estate, that kind of thing. I know right now is kind of a confusing time in our market, and I'd love to be able to help you with some clarity. I've been doing this for 31 plus years, and I've been through different shifts in the market, as I'm sure you can imagine, several of them now over the last 3+ decades. And I can walk you through some of the things that work. We've been in markets that were cooler. We've been in markets that were hotter. There are strategies that work in both. There are strategies that work in markets that are in between. So happy to help in any way that I can. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope this helps you. Take care. Bye-bye.